Hi, I'm Chris Belleau. I'm a musician and a doctor. Live here in Baton Rouge, and glad to be here today to talk a little bit about music. I'm medical director of a rehabilitation hospital here in Baton Rouge, and we take care of people that have had strokes, spinal cord injuries, brain injuries, multiple trauma, bad car wrecks, broken hips, and that sort of thing. You know, we help rehabilitate them so they can go back home and take care of themselves. First instrument was the trombone, and I started out in the school band in the 5th grade playing the trombone. I just picked that instrument probably because one of my friends was playing that instrument. I wanted to sit by him. Well, I play the trombone, the harmonica, different types of harmonicas, and Cajun accordion. Play the piano accordion, play some piano and some guitar. Piano and guitar, more or less instruments that I play at home, writing songs and that sort of thing. Not so much on live performance, but maybe a little bit here and there. And I sing. I was fascinated with great harmonica players in my early years of playing the harmonica, and had never heard of a lot of these people like Little Walter and Sonny Boy Williamson, Junior Wells, and Paul Butterfield, and all these people that had tremendous talents on harmonica. You know, they weren't necessarily household names, but I learned about these people from other harmonica players. I was able to find recordings of them and listen to them, and just try to study what they did, and I think I was influenced by a lot of that. Probably a lot of harmonica players are, you know. And then country harmonica players, just great country harmonica players out there too. Charlie McCoy was fantastic. You know, he could just play incredible stuff on the harmonica. And I listened to these people and tried to learn what they were doing. And through the years, I've met other harmonica players and picked up a few things, but mostly I just kind of learned on my own, tried to, you know, emulate what I heard, and I think after you do that for over a long period of time, you end up kind of having a sound that's slightly different. It's just a natural process. So I probably incorporate a lot of different elements into what I'm doing. Probably don't sound exactly like one person, you know. Yeah. You may have heard of Clarence Gatemouth Brown. I played with him for about 12 years, off and on, and I played with him more locally in this area, Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Played in Texas with him a little bit. I didn't really do a lot of road work with him. He had a band that worked with him all year long, and they played all over the world. And I work here in town, you know, as a doctor, so I couldn't really do that. But I did do some recording sessions with him, and I played jazz fest events and things like that, and different things locally. So that was a lot of fun. He was a phenomenon. Let's see. I played with some great studio musicians, particularly in Shreveport. Joe Osborne, who is a great bass player, who has played on a lot of tremendous number of hit records, starting way back in the 60s, mostly in California and Nashville. But Joe was originally from Shreveport. He started out with Dale Hawkins. You probably heard the song Susie Q. He and also James Burton. I played with James Burton a little in Shreveport too. James was a guitar player on that song, and Joe played with Dale at that time too, and that was a big hit record. And so they both got sprung into the music business as teenagers. They played on the Louisiana Hayride back then, and of course. There were many famous artists coming through the Louisiana Hayride in that era, including Elvis Presley and George Jones and all these great country people, and they played with those guys and ended up in California in the early 60s. They played with Ricky Nelson and played on all of Ricky's hits, and then Joe became really if not the one of the top bass players in history, and just played on a tremendous number of hit records. And so it was a real honor to be able to play with him and work with him. And we've recorded together, mostly in Shreveport. I also played with another well-known bass player named Chuck Rainey. That was more in Dallas. I met him in Shreveport too, and we played in Dallas once a week, and then things in that area between Shreveport and Dallas. Who else? I played with the Boogie Kings a little bit. They were a well-known band and well-known Louisiana band back in the 60s and through the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s. You know, I would almost have to sit and think of the various people I've played with. I've done some recordings with some well-known people. I played on several of Irma Thomas's records as a trombonist. I played on one of Charlie Rich's records, his last record before he passed away, and he was not from Louisiana, but he died in Louisiana. Of course, he had a huge career, you know, starting out with Sun Records as really more of a rockabilly type of guy, kind of evolved into the country music scene. He was a great pianist and singer, songwriter, and I'm sure he probably played guitar too. Well, I just released a CD. The title of the CD is Knee Deep in the Blues, and that's named after one of the songs. It has 13 songs on it, and I have several songs on there that I wrote. I have a couple of songs that I co-wrote with a great songwriter, a great Louisiana songwriter named David Egan, who has written a lot of songs for other artists. David and I wrote a song together called Angels in the Swamp, another one called Dance to the Blues with Me. And so those are on the CD. I have a few that I've done myself. Knee Deep in the Blues is one that I wrote on my own, and another song that's actually sounds a little more country called Hole in My Heart that I wrote, and then another one called Let It Go. And then I have some other songs that are just covers, things that I've enjoyed playing live, things that I think, you know, people might like, and some of those include She's About a Mover. Which was that song was written by Doug Sahm with the Sir Douglas Quintet, and I was fortunate enough to record that song with the original keyboard player on that song, Augie Myers. Augie Myers played with Doug Sahm in the Sir Douglas Quintet. He was the other member of the Sir Douglas Quintet besides Doug that everybody associates with that group. And they went on later in life to form the Texas Tornadoes. Augie and I have played together. That's another person I've played together. He's more of a Texas guy, but Augie lives in San Antonio. But I met him it was in kind of the late 80s when I was in Shreveport. Augie plays accordion, but he plays a different style. I play the Cajun accordion, and he does more of a style that you would probably call a conjunto style, which is a Tex-Mex style of accordion playing. There was a gentleman up in the area where I was living in Shreveport who knew Augie well. He had managed the Sir Douglas Quintet many years ago, and he introduced us and brought Augie to Shreveport, and we played some gigs together. We did a little recording together, and so we've been friends for a long time. So anyway, Augie played the Vox organ on that song, and it's the same thing that he did on the original song, you know, so it really adds a lot. And he also played, we did a cover of Willie Bully, the song that everybody, you know, remembers from Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. And a woolly dog, Bully Bully. The thing that kind of makes it a little interesting is I throw a few French words in there and I play a Cajun accordion on it. So it's just a fun tune. People like it and dance and cut up. And he played piano on a few tunes too. He has a great style that he plays that really adds a lot. And Augie's just a really well-known keyboardist. He's played and recorded with, besides the Texas Tornadoes and Doug Sahm and many Texas people, he's on a lot of Bob Dylan's recordings and a lot of other, you know, well-known rock artists, you know, through the years. So we have Augie playing on about 4 of the songs in that on that CD. And I do a couple of Cajun songs. I do a cover of Jolie Blanc, the old standard that everybody loves, and I did a version of the Mamu two-step. And so I played accordion and harmonica on those songs, so you get a little flavor of both instruments. Probably the easiest thing would be to go to iTunes or the internet. Just find me on the internet. It would be chrisbellowmusic.com, or they could probably search on my name. It's Belleau, and they could probably find it and download a version of it, or order a CD through one of the online distributors.
All that shines is not gold. And like the book says, you got to reap just what you sow. Well, you lied, cheated, on for so long.